7 p.m. here on Saturday, January 14th, ladies and gentlemen, from beautiful downtown Bethesda, Maryland, at the downtown headquarters, worldwide headquarters of YAA/Car Edge. This is Saturday night with Zach and Ray, and if I may, today would have been my 39th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
To the day, literally, we got married on a Saturday night, January 14th. And this is a Saturday night, January 14th, at right around this hour.
There it is. Me,
Yeah.
my dad, my mom.
Yeah.
Passed away a couple years ago, 5-6 years ago now.
Ago.
Yeah. So it would have been your
39th wedding anniversary. During there's Dara, and during the middle of the reception, we actually did a dealer trade.
Did you really?
Yeah. My salesperson, Woody Paisley, we were DXing a 280Z.
You guys you're funny, man.
Yeah, and we did a dealer trade at the wedding reception.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, my mom should have known.
Mom and dad at the Bean in Chicago, the three of us, when I was looking at going to DePaul University. Ended up going to University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And there you are in front of the Pitt Panther. Yeah, we miss Mom every day, and congrats on your 39th anniversary. All right, Here is the deal, folks.
Yes.
Here's the deal. Inventories are building up. Car dealers and banks are in trouble.
According to
the data that you look at on Cox Automotive, Dad. No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Here it is. Inventory buildup suggests incentives may be coming. We talked about this.
Where's the subheadline that banks and dealers are in trouble?
All right. You want me to dig? I will dig, Pops. Dealerships that are holding on to inventory, especially Teslas. We're going to talk about that in a minute here. Dealerships holding on to inventory, like that Model Y behind us, they're having to drop prices significantly, very quickly, or else they're just going to take an even bigger loss in the near term. We are seeing used car values continue to go down and new car inventories building up. As interest rates go up, banks and dealers alike, Dad, are starting to feel some of the financial pains. And let's quantify this. Can we quantify this?
Can we?
We're going to try.
Okay.
Inventory levels are returning, Dad.
Yes.
New car inventory climbed through December, nearing what used to be considered normal levels in the pre-pandemic era, said Charlie Chesbro.
Okay, well, Charlie must have a really short memory.
Inventory, Dad. New vehicle inventory stood at 1.8 million units at the end of December, compared to a revised 1.62 million at the end of November.
Okay.
That's 715,000 units higher than December 2021.
That's still 1.6 million below what the average on-hand new car inventory was in any given month in 2019 and 2020 pre-pandemic. Okay, so higher, but nowhere near pre-pandemic levels.
All right, but for some vehicles it is. For some vehicles, it is. We're getting back to some pre-pandemic levels for some vehicles. All right, let me pull down.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Here it is.
There it is.
December day supply of inventory by brand, and they even go on further below to break down by type of vehicle that is high selling, and if there's a lot of inventory and a little, you're going to see some trucks on there. There are a lot of trucks on there, actually.
Yeah.
Toyota, Kia, Land Rover, BMW, Subaru, Honda, Lexus, Porsche, Hyundai, Genesis, Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz all have less days supply of inventory than the national average.
Which
that
is
means
58 days.
That means that the amount of cars they have on the lot, if they kept selling at the normal sales rate,
they would sell out in 58 days.
Toyota, on the other hand, would sell out in
24 days, 25 days, 20, whatever it is. Yeah.
The dealers to the right of this line, the further down you go, are feeling the pain even more. The floor plan companies that are, floor planning that inventory, those are the financial institutions that are feeling the pain more. Acura has more days supply.
Why are they feeling the pain more? Assuming that the dealers are actually paying their floor plan interest charges, those banks should be happy.
Those banks should be really happy because their vehicle's just going to sit there longer. Banks are excited.
Yeah, the banks are making more money off the dealer floor plan than they have been in years.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So
the banks
are getting fat and happy.
That's always good when that happens. Acura
Yeah.
to the right of the line. Chevy, Cadillac,
Yeah.
Mini, Mazda, Nissan, Mitsubishi, GMC, Ford. Here's where it really starts to pick
Yeah.
up. Audi with over nearly a 90 days supply. Chrysler with nearly a 90 days supply. Lincoln over 90 days. Dodge over 90 days. Infiniti breaking the 100 days supply mark. Jaguar,
Yes.
Ram,
Yes.
Volvo, Jeep, Buick. Pops, those are the brands where the
Yes.
dealers should, you would imagine, are feeling some little tiny bit of pain. Why the incentives might come back.
And they're especially feeling pain if those vehicles are floor planned, and more than likely they're not. And since the banks are getting fat and happy on all that floor plan interest, since it used to run around 1.5%, 2%, and it's now running around 6% or 6.5%. Yeah, you're damn right. The banks are happy now. Now the size of the check that the dealerships have to write every month to cover that floor plan expense has gone up significantly. And yeah, that eats into their profits, and actually ultimately it eats into the individual profits of every car the longer they sit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not beneficial when vehicles sit. As we saw, when vehicles don't sit, they can sell them for even more. There's an equilibrium here that's beneficial.
Yes.
And right now we're oscillating, I think, a little bit too far back in either direction. Now look at this, Pops.
Okay.
Not all vehicles are made the same. Of the 30 best sellers for the 30-day period that ended December 26, Toyota, Kia, and Honda had the most models at the low end of the supply. We know that.
Okay, yes.
Corollas, Sportage, Highlander, Telluride, RAV4s, CRVs, and Camrys.
Yes. Didn't have a lot of supply, especially on the hybrid side of things.
On the other end of the spectrum,
yes.
The vehicles that had the most supply are your domestic manufacturers: Ram 1500s, Chevy Silverados, Ford Explorers, GMC Sierras, Ford F-150s. Scream it from the rooftops. If you know someone who is interested in buying any of these vehicles, do not let them fall for, vehicles are selling over MS. No.
Not those vehicles.
No.
How come there's no Buick on that list? They had them
30 best sellers.
Oh, yeah, because even if it was 50 bestsellers, Buick still might not be on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dad, it is also a regional implications.
Yes.
Supply showed wide variation by DMA.
Dealer marketing area.
In contrast with the past, where there was less variation.
Yeah.
Northern DMAs, led by Minneapolis, St. Paul, followed by Detroit and Denver, had the highest supply, likely because they had a lot of domestic brand supply. If you're looking to buy a GM
it's
product,
winter and snowy, and you don't sell as many cars when it's winter and snowy in northern climates, and so the inventory tends to build up.
You look a little too relaxed tonight.
Relaxed. I'm just trying. I have hand warmers inside my no, I wish I did. I'm cold.
You're cold? Do you want me to give you a jacket?
No, I got the space heater going.
All right.
Yeah.
I have another hoodie.
My feet are warm.
Dad, if you live anywhere in the state of Florida,
yeah,
that's where supplies are still low. Atlanta as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we are seeing, Dad, inventories start to build back up, and inventories building back up is a departure from where dealerships had operated for 18 to 24 months. It's a departure from where banks and financial institutions had operated for 18 to 24 months. And there are good things as consumers that can come from that. The longer a vehicle sits.
Incentives will come from that. There'll be many manufacturers that will start to offer incentives as the inventories continue to build. Or if you're Tesla, in order to try and gain more market share, you will just significantly lower the price of your vehicles, anywhere from 6 to 20%. And let's face it, one of the reasons they lowered the price of the Model Y,
all of their vehicles,
but the Model Y was the one they did 20% off of, was so that it would qualify for the federal tax credits, hopefully upwards of the $7,500. So they brought that vehicle down below the $55,000 threshold for those type of vehicles, so they would qualify. Now, having done that, there's, we had the discussion yesterday that, well, they kind of screwed the people that just recently bought them.
They did screw the people that recently bought them.
But they're also screwing the legacy manufacturers because they're showing that they can be nimble. They can react to market changes much more quickly than legacy manufacturers can. And they have much greater margins built into their vehicles so that they can afford to do a 20% price reduction on a particular model.
Do you think it's because inventories were building up at Tesla?
Well, I think there were two things. One, they missed their internal targets for sales and production. So there was that. And the other thing is, well, they know with the Inflation Reduction Act to qualify for
The tax,
the tax credits, that the Model Y had to be below $55,000 base MSRP to qualify. And they find themselves in a position to be able to do that. Like I said, the legacy manufacturers are not. I read a comment from one of our active viewers today who's moving back to the country, and he needs to get a couple vehicles. And originally he put a deposit down on a Palisade Calligraphy. And then that kind of fell through, and he was looking at, I think, a GX450, a Lexus GX450. And then with what Tesla did yesterday, he ordered himself a Model Y.
Yeah.
Because it just, he wanted to be in the mid 50s for the vehicle that he purchased. And this gives him the ability to be able to do that. And so he's, so how many other people are going to look at what Tesla did yesterday, and is that going to jumpstart additional EV sales because of what they did?
Let's keep things moving here. I don't want to harp too much on the Tesla story without talking about inventories on the used car side first. Okay, so we will come back to Tesla. There's a lot to unpack there.
Yes.
Let's also talk about the used car market, Dad.
Yes.
We had another headline come out from Cox Automotive. Used vehicles have steady supply, lower average asking price. Tonight is a good show. We'll break down also why the Tesla news, I think, has positive implications for
that's going to bring down
prices. Yep.
some used vehicle prices as well.
We just mentioned a moment ago, Dad, there were 1.8 million new vehicles in dealer inventory.
Yes.
There's 2.32 million used vehicles in dealer inventory. At 54 days supply, the average listing price came down just a touch. Average mileage still crazy high up there at nearly 70,000 miles. Last month was a revised 2.33 million at the end of November. We are almost at where we were back in December of 2021, 2.3 million. So used car inventory is fine.
About where it's supposed
historically
to be.
done.
Yes.
All right, Dad. So we have seen here, Dad, as Jonathan Smoke, the chief economist at Automotive News, says, as the supply of new vehicles improves and is improving rapidly, demand for used vehicles is declining.
And he's the chief economist at Cox Automotive.
What did I say?
Automotive News.
Oh, excuse me. Thank you. So there it is right there, Dad. We are seeing downward pressure on retail pricing, wholesale pricing across the board. We are seeing downward pressure.
New inventory is improving. Yes, absolutely.
Now, not every single type of vehicle is made the same.
Again,
as with new cars, the lower the price, the tighter the inventory. Days supply for under $10,000 vehicles was 36. Go watch Car Questions Answered.
Yeah.
If you want to get some insights into under $10,000 vehicles, he's a dealer. He does great work there, Brandon. Days supply for vehicles priced between 10 and 15,000 was 45. Between 15 and 20,000 was 51, and 20 and 25,000 was 57. All other price categories had about 60 days supply. Lexus, Subaru, Toyota, and Mazda had the lowest day supply of used vehicles. Also at the low end were Acura, Honda, Hyundai, Mitsubishi, and Nissan. So there you go. Paints a bit of a picture of what's going on in the market.
And I sent you a different article about that was I thought really.
Let's dig into this. This is super important. Let's dig into this.
Which I think this is more important than the data we just went over.
It's two sides to the story, right?
Yeah.
Used vehicle volume hits lowest mark in nearly a decade. The 2022 volume drop, a turnabout from a record of 2021, occurred even as wholesale used vehicle prices were sliding for most of last year, according to data from Cox Automotive's unit Mannheim. Now, Dad, help us understand here what happened. There were 36.2 million vehicles, used vehicles sold, down from 40.5 million. About a 2 million drop on the retail side. Why do you think that this data,
19 million,
$2 million drop from the prior year, right? 21 million, down to 19 million.
Yes.
Help us understand why you think this is an even bigger storyline. This is the total volume of used vehicles sold last year.
Because if you go back to 2013, every year we've seen used car sales, with the exception of 2020, which is when the COVID crisis started and dealerships were closed for a period of time. With the exception of 2020, we have seen used car sales volume increase year over year. This is the first year, other than that COVID year, and even during the COVID year, it was still better than 2013.
Yep.
This is the first year, other than COVID years, where it has declined. And it didn't decline a little bit. It declined quite a bit. So I think that has to do with affordability.
Yep.
So that people who obviously can't afford new cars are finding it even more difficult to afford, or equally as difficult to afford, some pre-owned cars. So they're out of the market altogether, and instead of buying cars, they are reconditioning the cars that they own and keeping them running and piecing them together so that they can continue using those, because they can't afford to get another car. So that, it just shows that the market's shrinking.
The market's shrinking.
Yes,
prices
both on
went up
on the new car side and the used car side.
And then you start to pair some of the Tesla news, and you start to see people say, oh, maybe we should be targeting the growth rather than, I don't know, just trying to make as much money possible, jacking up the prices of these vehicles. You could eventually start to see the pushback down market to try and expand market share. Get people to be
happen.
I mean, that's what these automakers know.
Yes.
They know how to make vehicles. That's what they do.
Well, that's what they're good at. Well, they're not even good at, but they that's what they claim is their area of expertise.
Yeah. Hey, we haven't gone to the chat yet. John
Yes.
says, I would enjoy professional feedback. Why are so many Armadas in inventory? I looked at consumer reports and read reviews online. They don't sell well. They're expensive.
They're expensive, and they don't get particularly good gas mileage. And so the bigger SUVs are, unless you're talking about like the Suburban or the Denali and some of the other, I mean, for the most part, bigger SUVs have taken a pretty big hit. And Nissan in particular has taken a big hit because they've had some issues. They've had some money issues. They've had some design issues. They've had some quality issues, and it goes back a number of years, and their sales are way down because of that.
Yeah, sales are down from their peak in 2017, I think 55%. I tweeted that out recently. Okay, I want to remind everyone, Dad. Thank you, everyone who's here with us so far tonight. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
Join YAA.com. Please go there. If you've got questions about when should I buy a car, what's my car worth when I go to sell it, how much should my auto insurance cost? Laura and I, my girlfriend and I, we moved today. We went to U-Haul. She's got to give them her auto insurance.
Yeah.
She's like, oh crap, my auto insurance is with Progressive, and it's comes due in March.
Yes.
I said, great. We're gonna get your quotes through us. Let's see if we can save you some money. Get your quotes through us. Let's see if our agency can save you money. Extended warranty, financing through our credit union partners. So many resources, more than I can even talk about in a throw here. Please just go to joinyaa.com. Many of them are free, like the free guides, the community, Deal School 2.0 is free. Please just go apprise yourself of all of the valuable information back at joinyaa.com.
Absolutely.
Now, Dad, you sent me an article.
I did.
You sent me an article, and I tweeted it out.
Yes.
Trying to be more active on the Twitter sphere.
I know you are.
I'm trying my best.
No, I noticed it. I sent it to you, and I thought to myself, well, he's moving. He's not going to get a chance to read it. And the next thing I know, 7 minutes later, the damn thing's on Twitter. And I'm thinking, okay, this move's going well.
The move did go very well. Thank you very much. The move went very well. There's nothing to worry about, Pops. Don't worry about it. 84-month loans gain in popularity.
Mm-hmm.
This data, folks, this data is from third quarter 2022. It is old. We are looking in the rear view mirror here.
I bet you it's higher in the fourth quarter.
Of course it was higher in the fourth quarter.
Because the average transaction price was higher in the fourth quarter.
19% of new vehicles financed in the third quarter of 2022 and 11% of used vehicles financed ran 7 years. Okay, we're going to try and do it live here on the show. And I tweeted about my thoughts, right? 7-year loans don't make sense for people when they want to trade in their vehicles. Taking on debt for that long is not good. It's not a pretty situation.
Yeah.
Let's do a little detective work, Pops.
Ooh, Inspector
19%. So one
Clouseau.
in five, one
Yeah.
in five new
or
cars.
Colombo. Are you Clouseau or Colombo?
Let's say it's 20%. One in five new cars.
Yes.
Okay, that
Yes.
were financed
Yes.
for that term length.
Yeah, 84 months.
And we were just talking about, I mean, it was something like maybe 14 million new cars got sold last year. We know
Less than
13 million.
Yeah, 13.2. I think.
Okay, and let's say I don't remember the Q4 numbers, but let's say like 3 million of them were in Q4 because there probably was a little bit, 3 or 4 million in Q4. 4 million.
Whatever.
Let's do 4 million. Make it easy
for you. Sure.
That's like 800,000 people.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Financed at 7 years.
84 months.
Many of them, we have the other data set from where is it? Edmunds, TrueCar, etc. How many people were paying over MSRP, paying markups, paying add-ons,
and how many were making car payments of over $1,000 a month?
You just start to add this up and then realize that used car prices came down 21% last year, 22%, depends
on
who
the
you talk
wholesale
to.
side,
which is going to impact your trade-in,
according to BlackBook,
which is going to impact your trade-in.
Dropped 22.7%.
I'm just trying to piece together here, Dad.
Yeah,
how many
people are buried? These there are two ways to look at it in the car business. You either say the people are underwater, or they're buried. Okay, and so these people that have taken out 84-month loans, 7-year loans, as we're starting, well, actually, depreciation ran at a higher rate last year than it normally does. But even if it runs at a normal rate, these people who've overpaid for a lot of these cars, and in order to get their payment in an affordable range, had to agree to finance it for 84 months, are going to be so buried in their trades if they ever wanted to get rid of it. Hopefully, the 19% of the people that bought cars and financed them for 7 years said to themselves, well, my intention is to keep it for 10. If you financed it for 7 years and your intention or your thinking was, well, I'll get out of it in 3.5 to 4 years, you are going to be so significantly upside down that the payoff is going to be so significantly higher than its actual cash value that you're either going to have to come up with a large chunk of money so that you can stay within guidelines that a bank might finance, or you're just going to have to keep the damn thing.
We need to do a video where we just quantify one story. We just need to paint the picture for one vehicle. Jane Doe, John Doe, they bought a car in Q2.
Yeah.
They financed it for this long. It was a used car. They bought this much. We just need to quantify that in one story. I'm being serious. On Monday, we need to film this. Or Monday's the holiday, but whatever. Monday or Tuesday.
You still have me
we're doing it. We got to film that video because people I don't think understand. I don't even understand on the surface that we got to do one story where we just help someone understand how buried they're gonna be.
You know the car loan calculator I like to use?
Yeah, of course.
It gives you a breakdown, an amortization breakdown.
Yeah.
So you can see how long it's going to take to where you might actually become break even. And it's going to, on an 84-month note, it's going to be a long
and
time.
we got to do it for
it could be I don't know, 5 to 5.5 years, maybe even 6 years in before you're going to be at a break-even point.
Yeah.
At a break-even point. Especially if you didn't put a lot of money down.
Yeah.
When you financed the car to begin with.
I'm telling you, we got to do it because it would help me understand intimately on an individual basis just how devastating that could be. We've got here from Softball by Fat. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Say their name.
Thank you very much, Softball by Fat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not in the market for a car, but I still love watching your videos that are full of knowledge. Thank you and your team for all your hard work. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Thank you. Appreciate the contribution. And that I also want to just remind everyone, Dad,
over
on caredge.com.
Yes, I was explaining this to your sister last week.
It is such a good resource, folks. caredge.com/ranks/maintenance.
Yes.
Here are the popular brands of vehicles with the least expense that are the 10-year maintenance costs broken down for you. You can start to paint a picture of vehicles that are the least expensive to maintain and own. I mean, This is data that you have at your fingertips, and I just can't say enough how valuable this information would be for you to just click on and start to spend some time. It was the likelihood of a major repair.
Yes. When will that occur? You know, yeah, there's some really valuable information in here. And
And if you're going to own a car for,
I use that for your, I was talking to Dara and Zach last night at dinner, and Zach said, I did what you told me to do. I went to Car Edge and I looked at all the
Yep.
and it makes so much sense to be able to look at it, because they're the type of people that, when they buy a car, their intention is to own it for 10 or 12 years or more. So it gives you a much clearer understanding as to what you should expect in expenses as and they're looking at things like a Subaru Outback or a Mazda CX-5. And I said, I'd like to tell you to go look at Hyundai, but I can't, knowing all the issues that they've had. And if we were to compare a Hyundai,
yep,
and you go to the depreciation chart, I am sure that would be off the charts as to how quickly that depreciates in comparison to the Mazda or the Subaru. And so there's all types of things you need to look at when you're making a decision. It's not just your monthly payment, it's your monthly depreciation, it's your monthly maintenance costs, it's all of that. And that's what needs to go into your decision-making process.
We got a very important comment here from Mr. B, getting a little skeptical of YAA. This is why, Mr. B, we're switching over to Car Edge. It was just for this comment. No, he teased. YAA credit union denied me. I'm sorry to hear that. We don't make the lending guidelines. Insurance folks, hard to plan contact. I'm sorry. We list the insurance agency hours. We've got a staff over there that mans that. So I apologize if that experience was not ideal. VSC was $3,000 more than my credit unions. I am so glad that you got to price shop that in your credit union. Hopefully it's a good product. And dealership.
What Mr. B? I don't want to call BS, so I'm Mr. B. But exactly what kind of car was it that the VSC would have been $3,000 less?
Probably a BMW or something. It could have been a BMW. Our pricing for BMWs is not great. Our pricing for popular brands like Toyota and things like that, it's good.
Yeah. And we don't set the credit guidelines. I don't know what your credit scores are, and they're not our credit unions. They're credit unions that we're affiliated with.
Yeah,
it's not a YAA credit union.
That is my ambition.
Yes, you have to meet certain lending guidelines. Either you do or you don't. And I'm glad you did at your credit union. But I would really be hard pressed to believe that. Since I think there's a $600 markup on our warranties, that one was $3,000 less.
All right, so here we go. Kern Clock, thank you for the contribution. $23,000 out the door for a 21 Kia K5 LXS, 38,000 miles, but I must finance through the dealership. They said, coach me up. And is it a fair price?
Well, if you have to finance it through the dealership, make sure that before you do anything that you get pre-approved through your credit union or some credit union or some other lending source, so that you can turn around and a few days later just go ahead and refinance it through your lending institution. And I don't know off the top of my head if it's a fair price.
The way to determine if it's a fair price would be, we've got a great video on it. I kind of call it like the 10% rule.
Yes.
Figure out what a realistic wholesale value of that is. So one of the things that we provide for members, and I'm super excited about this, Dad, we now have access to MMR values as well for our members.
Cool.
So we can get you MMR values, we can get you Black Book values, we can give you an idea of what that vehicle is worth on the wholesale market, and you can use that to determine if it's a fair.
Well, and you can even use CarWiser to find out.
Yes. Yeah. Use the Sell Your Car widget on the website. That is a great place where you can see what Vroom or CarMax or Echo Park or
whoever
might pay for it. And that's a way to figure out if it's a relatively fair price from the dealership. So hope that helps. Okay, Dad, let's switch gears.
Yes.
Let's switch gears. Wait a second. Mr. B said it was 300, his mistake. Okay.
That's a big mistake, Mr. B.
All right. That's okay. All right. 300. All right. That feels better. Because 3,000, I don't know. That's just,
3,000 was out of the question.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm glad that you got a good deal. That makes
Yeah.
me happy. Okay. Yeah, please do not post your comments a bunch of times in a row. Here, we'll see if we can help. Okay. I come from India. I want to buy a car. Should I buy a new or used? And also, what is the best interest I should agree for? Please note that I don't have credit. So Sandeep, please go back and watch some of the videos. Google Deals School. We have an incredible number of resources for you. But if you've got a thin file data, if you don't have a lot of credit history, that can be very difficult.
Yeah.
What you might need a cosigner.
Or a lot of cash.
Or a lot of cash.
Or all cash.
Or all cash.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And Stig says, congrats on getting the MMR values. Yeah, we're super excited about that. That's important. That's really good. We can't put that everywhere. And Mike, you are correct. I'm just going to leave it at that. You are correct, Mike. All right. And Space is right. It's auction values. That's what we're going to say from now on.
Yeah.
All right. Let's switch gears a little bit, Dad. You mentioned Tesla earlier in the show. I've got to bring it up. So obviously, by now you've heard they significantly discounted the prices of their new vehicles.
Yes.
Look at what's going on over at CarMax. Dad.
Yes.
Remember when their CEO came out and said in their most recent
we're not
quarterly
lowering
earnings,
our prices.
We feel good about our prices.
Yeah.
$13,000 price drop.
Wait a second. Is that a Model Y long? Oh my God! And how much did Tesla just lower the price on the model?
$13,000.
Oh my goodness gracious!
So we are starting to see the impacts. Of Tesla having made the decision to drop the prices.
And if I may suggest,
sure.
On that CarMax one where they dropped the price $13,000, they are losing money.
Definitely.
Okay.
Unequivocally, yes.
Yeah.
Unequivocally.
They are losing money, but they realize that it's better to take that big loss now than to wait, and that loss is only going to get bigger.
All right. Now here's the deal, Dad.
Yeah.
There are implications happening at other, across the entire industry. I got this email in my inbox just a couple hours ago, and let's zoom in on it. It's here from Steven. Zoom in even more. Good afternoon, Zach. FYI, I've called 2 different dealerships in the Seattle area trying to get a deal on a used 2022 Model Y. Neither of them wanted to entertain selling the vehicle for sub $46,000, the price of a new one.
Basically, yeah.
Saying that they didn't want to lose money on it. Why would a dealership do this and not fire sale these? Again, we're seeing CarMax start the fire sale, but local dealers aren't. Yeah. Both of them are aware Tesla reduced prices. I got a new email. I haven't read this yet. Let's see. Update. One of the internet sales managers just called me back and said he spoke to the general manager and that they'd sell it for $53,000, the price of a new one. I told him it doesn't factor in the tax credit and that I'm sub $46,000. I asked if my presence on the lot would help, and he said he would work up some numbers and send them my way. Told him everyone is fire selling these. That's a race to lose the least amount possible. The dealership seem more motivated to work with me. Such a challenge to get a deal, but I feel like if I stay polite but firm, something might get done. I have no idea what these are even worth. 10% less than 46,000. More to come. And we had that over on Reddit. I know a website that you love.
Yes.
You know this user.
Oh yeah.
You do know that user.
Yeah. He's been a
he used to work with you.
I used to work with him.
You used to work with this user.
Yes,
Ready to read this?
Yeah.
So most have heard about the price changes Tesla implemented over the past few days. Yes. I was telling my team this morning that any Tesla appraisals will be very conservative if I put a number at all. 2 minutes after the meeting, we get an online appraisal request for a 2022 Model 3 long range with 2,000 miles. Guy paid about $50,000. I put $18,000 on it at first, then reached out to our regional appraisal team for some backup, and they said they aren't approving appraisals on any Tesla 21 or newer until further notice.
Wow.
What does that say to you, Pops?
It says to me, any dealer with a brain is going to pump the brakes on any used Tesla appraisal, and if you have any used Teslas in your used car inventory, you really need to make immediate price reductions on those. They are not going back up in value. There will be so much publicity about what Tesla did lowering the prices that it will inundate the airwaves for a number of days.
Yeah.
And anybody that was thinking of a EV, whether it be new or used, will be aware of the price drops at Tesla, and they would expect to see commensurate type price drops on pre-owned EVs, especially Teslas.
And again, the biggest used car dealer in the country is doing that
Yes.
immediately.
Yeah, why waste time?
They woke up the next day
Yeah.
and they said, "Get these the hell out of here."
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I saw one on Twitter today where the gentleman sold his Tesla to the dealer for like $62,000 or $63,000, and the dealer had it on the lot at $68,000, something like that.
Yeah.
And they've had it for 5 months, and they haven't sold it.
Yep.
And so he knows what the dealer paid for it. He's the one that sold it to him. And the dealer has it on their lot today for $45,000. It's a $20,000 loss, but better to take that $20,000 loss today than think, well, it's going to be a smaller loss moving forward. No, it's going to be a bigger loss. Okay. Unless your only hope is that yours is the last remaining pre-owned ever available and somebody will overpay for it. It's not going to happen.
As many of you know, we track on a weekly basis.
We do.
Wholesale used car market trends.
Yes.
It's from our friends. It's data from our friends over at BlackBox.
Yes.
I cannot wait
Yeah.
to see over the next 2 or 3 weeks what these charts look like. So last week, for example, everyone, used cars at the wholesale auctions declined 0.7%. That's like fairly, I mean, it's a little bit more than normal. It's usually half a point. I cannot wait to see. Does it go up to 1 point? Does it go up to 1.5? Is it when they segment it out by
I would
EVs?
just love to see. I would love to see their data just on pre-owned EVs.
I would love to see it just on pre-owned Teslas. I'm going to ask him. I'm going to ask him.
Yeah.
You've got to imagine. You've got to imagine the wholesale auctions. We did this just the other day. We're going to do it again tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to go into CarEdge.
Okay.
And I'm just going to search
for that website.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to search for Teslas.
Okay.
And I'm doing nationwide.
Okay.
5,742 nationwide.
Okay.
That's a lot of cars.
Yeah.
They're being sold at the auctions right now. This doesn't include Carvana. This doesn't include CarMax. I mean, there's probably like 7,000-8,000 Teslas out there for sale right now.
Yeah.
They're going to be going to the auctions. And who the hell is going to, and you can already, let's find one here. Let's find it. Let's do days on market. What do you want to do? Over 120, over 90, over 60, 90?
Yeah.
One of the things I love is you can sort by days on market here. Let's not do it 2017. Let's do year. We'll do 2022.
Yeah.
One of the new ones, right?
Sure.
All right, so let's see here. Model Y 94 day, Model 3 133 days. Let's see this. At a Toyota dealership. You know where I'm going. I want to look at the price history. They've had this vehicle since, they've had it longer than that, but the most recent price update that we have is $44,991. They're down $7,000 on it.
Yes. In a month.
Let's look at this Model Y.
Yeah.
71,000. They're at, look at this price drop. $10,000 price drop over the month.
Yes.
Down to 58.
And they're going to have to drop it another $12,000 or $13,000 to find a buyer for it, because that's what it's going to take. Because if you can buy a brand new one for $52,990 plus freight, so let's call the whole thing $55,000.
Yep.
And you get a $7,500 tax credit.
Yep.
So what's that? $47,500.
Yep.
So net, you're paying $47,500 with the tax credit for a $55,000 car.
Yep.
With no miles.
Yep.
How much cheaper does a used one have to be for you to want to be able to say, yeah, I'd buy that? I can get the brand new one with no miles for $47,500 net with the tax credit, or I would buy a used one that has miles on it. I might entertain it at $40,000 if I was a customer, because it's got to be significant. There's got to be a significant enough savings for you to go from new to used.
Yeah, 100%.
So
now that we have other automakers,
so that guy that marked his down to 58 from 68, he's got another 18 grand to go.
Exactly. Which is scary to think. Those are losses you're not used to taking on used cars.
No, but we haven't seen anybody on the new car side of things do a 20% price reduction overnight
No.
on anything in the past.
If anything, what we've seen, we've got a great article back on the Join YAA website. No, I don't need the cheat sheet. 10 cars with big MSRP price increases in 2023. What's number one on the list, Dad?
It was the Ford Lightning.
The Ford F-150 Lightning. The starting MSRP was $40,669, and now it is in 2023 $58,514, a 40% price increase. And Dad, this comes on the heels of Jim Farley back in 2021 saying Ford CEO Farley calls for making EVs more affordable, bringing mining back to you. BS, man.
And Ford will tell you right now that they don't make money wholesaling their EVs to their dealers. Okay, there's very little margin in those cars, if any margin, for the dealer. So I don't know why they'd want to sell them, because it's not like you're selling them because you're thinking, well, we're going to think of all the service work we're going to have. One of the things about EVs is they don't require a lot of service work.
Yep.
And Ford says, well, we don't really make money on the EVs. Obviously Tesla figured out how to do it, but Ford hasn't. And obviously Tesla figured out that, they could take $13,000 off on a vehicle and they're still making money. Not as much money as they were before, but they're still making money.
Yeah.
And Ford can't. And your legacy manufacturers can't, because they have so many higher built-in costs, labor costs, pension costs, things of that nature that Tesla doesn't have at this point. What Tesla did is just it's got to be, in horse racing, when a horse breaks down, they call it spitting the bit. Okay. And so there's got to be like CEOs at all these major manufacturers after Tesla's announcement yesterday, and they're all spitting the bit over what they're supposed to do with the pricing of their EVs. They're all joking.
And the ripple effects in the used car market.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mind-boggling to think, because you know what Tesla doesn't really care as much about? I don't think, because they don't have dealer partners. The trade-ins. They don't care. I don't care as much as like Ford. Ford cares that the trade-in. This is why we've seen leasing. So, for example, leasing has evolved significantly.
Yes.
Most leases of EVs, you actually can't buy it out at the end.
Yes.
It goes back to Ford. It goes back to Tesla. But one of the things that's interesting here is the person who bought that Tesla earlier this year at pre-price slash, and maybe it was even at the height of pricing, or bought any vehicle, they are so underwater relative to their loan. They go to trade it in 2 or 3 years from now. They're so underwater. Tesla doesn't really care as much about the trade-ins as maybe the traditional OEMs, because they have their dealer partners. I wonder if that plays a role in any of this. All right, Dad. Here's the deal. We've got from Kern Clock again. Thank you for the contribution. What is a VTT fee? Is this negotiable? Can you explain it? I have no clue what VTT fee is. Neither do you, right?
I don't either.
You are not wearing the right hoodie tonight to answer this question, but can you explain to Kern Clock and everyone?
If it's a state or county or city fee, it is not negotiable.
And how can you know that?
Well, if it's taxable, it's negotiable. And so I would, if we Google VTT, maybe we could find out exactly what that stands for.
Is it a taxed fee? Is it a non-taxed fee? If it's taxed, it's negotiable.
If it's non-taxed, then it's not negotiable.
Stangman says,
yes.
Is this really a live show? This seems like the same show as this past week. That's because we say the same thing every day, Stangman. It's just on repeat in your brain.
Yeah.
It's live.
It's live. It's very live.
It's very live.
Yeah.
We had
this is how I choose to spend my Saturday night with 1,1700 of my closest internet friends.
Exactly.
Yeah. Has anybody ever heard of
Thank you, Polyglocks. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah.
One of these days.
Yeah, we need to get bobbleheads. Has anyone ever heard of the talk show host Mark Germain? I'm not, but apparently he worked. I mean, I haven't. Apparently, he worked as a talk show radio host in LA. He's on Talk Radio One, I think now. It's an internet talk radio thing out of Las Vegas, and I'll be doing his show Tuesday night.
Yeah,
7 Las Vegas time, 10 p.m. my time. He wants to discuss what's going on in the car industry and our YouTube channel. So yeah, I whatever free time I have that I can spend with people out there sharing whatever it is I can share, I do it.
Yeah. It's really
So
awesome.
this is live, damn it. This
Awesome.
is how I spend my Saturday night when I could be watching NFL football.
Is that what you want to do?
No, I'd rather do this.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm not impacting anybody's life that's playing for the 49ers or the Seahawks.
Exactly. Okay, we've got a couple comments in here that I think are really important to pull in. It was here. We've got from back and to the left, your YAA, can you negotiate MSRP factory orders? Now, absolutely, below MSRP.
Yes.
On factory orders.
Yes.
We've got here, you guys are losing credibility with all the Armageddon predictions and nothing. Dealerships aren't negotiating and prices are still high. That's not accurate. Here, I can show you. It's not worth us on an internet, like just saying our word against yours.
Yeah.
I went to the community forum.
Yes.
Which is a community forum.
Yeah.
I clicked on success stories.
Okay.
And let's just look at a few of the most recent success stories. This one looks good. $11,000 discount and incentives on a 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn
from 2 days ago. And look, there's the truck.
And Eric.
Yeah.
And Eric with his truck.
Yeah.
And what did we do here? Dealer discount of $1,000, $10,000 in incentives.
No dealer add-ons.
Trade in within the black book. Discount from MSRP. Okay, so that's one.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just new cars. Let's see. Maybe there's a used car someone bought recently. Let's see. Just a lot of thank yous, so it's hard to know. I don't know. Give me a second. That's a BMW X5 at 10% off the out the door number
in Virginia.
You guys are changing the car. Thank you. That's incredibly kind.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to know which one's a used car just by going through it, but maybe here we go. 2019 Audi A4.
Yeah.
That's going to be a used vehicle. Let's see. Oh man, this is a little bit long. Got the warranty 25. I don't know. I encourage everyone who thinks that maybe we are misleading you to just go to the community forum and read the success stories. It's pretty incredible.
And our car coaches are working with people every day, saving them thousands of dollars. So yeah, maybe if you don't know how to negotiate, you can't.
Which is also why we're thinking of offering the concierge service.
Yeah.
If you're interested in the concierge service, we have that page up on the Car Edge website now. There's a wait list for the concierge service where we do it for you. I don't know. I'm glad that we're able to help. Glad to be able to help. We've got it here. Zach, I'm in Maryland too. Dealers are losing it big time. Can't sell any cars. I mean, that is what we're starting to see. That's what we're seeing in the news. That's what we're seeing from the people we talk to. That's what we're seeing from the people, left and right.
Yes. East and west, left and right, north and south. I mean, we have.
Thank you, Jerry. Yeah, anyone who's recently purchased a vehicle and gotten a decent deal, please share it.
Where's that spreadsheet?
Yeah, here, give me a second. I'll pull up the spreadsheet.
That Phil started.
Yeah, give me a second. Yeah, these are deals that have been validated by our team, deals that we helped folks work on. So let's see here. A lot of these were end of year deals. So a 2023 Honda Sonata SEL, 8.5% below MSRP. A Subaru Outback, 7% below MSRP. Crosstrek, 5% below MSRP. A 2020 Hilux, 12% off asking price. Wow, a 2023 Toyota Camry, 13% below MSRP on a Camry, folks. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
And we have the deal out the door right here. Give me a second. I don't want to share anyone's personal information, but let me see if I can share this to prove it out. Oh, it's on Phil's drive, so I can't even access it. But it's here. It's here. People are getting deals. We promise you, people are getting deals. So, Pops,
they are.
Yeah, here it is. I saved 10% on a certified pre-owned. This is great.
Yeah.
This is really great. Really, really appreciate seeing comments like that.
It's wholesale values are down significantly. Retail values are down not nearly as significantly. And we're not saying that just because retail values have dropped, we're not saying that they're still not higher than they should be, but thankfully they're lower than they were. It is a move in the right direction.
Let's answer this, Dad.
Okay.
Because I'm sure a lot of people are going to hear it. I looked at a car today, and the dealer said he is about to take it to the auction. Does that mean he's desperate to sell it?
Should. He absolutely should. If he's getting ready to take it to the auction, he's much better off. And this would be, if I were you and I was talking to him, I'd say to him, hey, you're much better off making me a retail customer on it. I have to go through your F&I department. There could be some things back there that I see value in that I might buy. You get to arrange a loan for me possibly where you can make some money on that. Wouldn't you really rather not have to incur the expense of shipping the vehicle to the auction and paying to register the vehicle to the auction? There's sell fees, there's everything else. Wouldn't you really rather have a retail customer where, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years from now, I might come back and buy another car from you? That's how I think I would approach it.
Yeah, 100%. There's great videos on YouTube that explain how expensive it is to take vehicles to auction. It's not cheap.
No.
What's Toyota's deal with new 2023 Sequoias? Can't find them anywhere at decent prices. There's like none. There are very few that are available. Like that, Toyota has struggled mightily. I had a tweet about this actually. Let me find it really quick because it helps quantify just how difficult things have been at Toyota. Give me 1 second. Yeah, here it is. Toyota's been struggling. We've got, this is unfortunately, I've just got the data here for Honda and Nissan. Honda sales down 40% from their peak. Nissan sales down 54% from their peak. Toyota, well, Hyundai was only down 1.5%, as you can see there. And Toyota's down like 23%. Toyota has struggled mightily with the chip shortage. Yeah, and here you go. Because Sequoia is a total redesign and slow output on production with high demand. Yeah, that is exactly it. It's very, very disappointing.
Yeah, not every model is readily available. And not every model is going to be as deal worthy as others. I mean, some you're just not going to get a deal on, and that goes for certain used cars as well.
This is partly why, to be very clear, when you do the car search on either Join YA or CarEdge, we give you the market day supply information of how many of similar vehicles are for sale. And this is also what we help people with.
Yeah,
I hate to do this again, but I'm gonna do it. If you need help buying a car,
go
to the website. Go to the plans.
Yeah.
We're revising the plans soon. I think they're actually going to be even better, but we'll do market analysis for you. We'll coach you through the entire thing. If you're interested in saving money on maintenance and repairs or on warranties as well, that's part of our membership back at joinyaa.com. But seriously, we can do the analysis, or we give you the information yourself to do your own analysis to figure out what's fair, to understand what the market conditions are in your area. Because you're right, not every vehicle is the same. The fact that there was a Camry that sold for 13% below MSRP is truly... That was like the deal of last year, but not every vehicle is the same. And if you watch the beginning of tonight's show, we dug into the vehicles that are going to have more availability and more negotiability, and the vehicles that are less available and the ones that are going to be more difficult to get at a decent price. Okay, let's call it a show.
Yeah, you've got parties to go to or something.
No, I'm going home and I'm going to bed.
You are just so much fun on a Saturday night.
Why? I don't have parties. I'm going home. I'm going to bed.
Oh, okay.
I moved today. I'm tired.
Okay. Well, you should be tired.
Again, tonight is, I should say, the anniversary from my parents' wedding. 39 years that they would have been married.
Yes.
So tonight's show.
Yeah.
The Tesla, the whatever show in memory of our mom, my mom, your mom. Died on Pearl Harbor Day. That was recent.
No, she was born on.
She was born on.
Yeah,
anyway,
she died in May.
Big happy family.
A long time ago.
Miss you, Mom, dearly. Pops, I know it's an emotional day. I love you very much.
I love you too.
And some people are keeping us on, so we'll stay on for a second. It's also her mom, mom's
your grandmother.
The day that she died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom passed away 20 years ago today.
Yep. So an emotional day. All right. Well,
it did put a damper on our wedding anniversary every year after my mom passed away.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, because we were lighting your site every year.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do?
All right, so here we go. From Vez. Unfortunately, I'm not able to take advantage of your membership because I am in Canada. However, all your efforts, dedication, and knowledge that you put out there with your team is priceless. Thank you. Thank you for the contribution.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's a 2023 goal. We have Canadian data. I don't know why we don't use it. So it's a 2023 goal, Vez, to be able to help you. And there are some great YouTube channels out there. Marcello over with Toyota World is a great one. And then what's his name? We've had him on the show.
David Chow
with Automotive Press. But what's his name? There's another one. Car something. Damn, we've had him on the show once. Remember he had technical issues?
Yeah,
I forget his name. There's another channel out there though. And he's quite good.
Yeah.
Scott says, what is your overall opinion in the long run on the EV market in general? Up or down?
Well, obviously, it's up. I mean, EVs are going to continue to EV sales are going to continue to increase. My suspicion is I know a lot of the manufacturers and hope that by 2030 that 50% of all new cars that are sold in this country will be EVs. I think that is a so far from what's about to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if that number was 35%, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere near 50%. But yeah, I mean, there's too much money being invested in EVs for those not to continue on an upward trend.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, Dad, we had this question coming from Technic.
Yeah.
Did y'all fix your car search? NSXs weren't showing up. I posted in the forum. Nobody answered. I'm sorry nobody answered, Technic. That's never a good
Well,
sign.
You were moving.
I will pull it up, though, Technic. Try using CarEdge, the car search on CarEdge, because I just searched and I found 6 of them. They're not looking like the new ones, though. These are definitely the old ones. So if you're not able to find them, let me know. You can email me directly. My email is Zach, ZACH, @joinyaa.com, and I can take a look. I already bought a premium membership. Can someone answer my question? Use the live chat technique. If you're really running into issues, please use the live chat. Okay. That is like for premium members. That's what it's there for. The forum, we get a little overwhelmed there, as you can probably see. So to access your live chat, I'm helping Technic out for a second, gang. Let me just hop that in the live chat for you. Give me 1 second. Live chat. There you go, Technic. I just posted that in the comments for you. Okay. Wes says, that's a cool avatar. Not a member, but a YouTube subscriber, and just picked up a great deal yesterday. I probably said out the door price 30 times throughout the day when I was working the deal. That must make you proud.
Yeah, that's the key. That's what you want to work on.
And what are you wearing tonight?
Wearing my out the door price hoodie.
Yeah, you look good, Dad. You look really, really good.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, let's call it a night. Space Mario, you were too good, man. You were too good. Thank you, Mario, for being there. Let's call it a night.
Absolutely. Let's call it Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
We'll be back on Monday.
Martin Luther King Day.
Yep.
No holidays for us.
No holidays for us, but it's obviously a great day and a day where we'll be proud to be back and be sharing information, the news you can use over on the Ray and Zach channel. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Thank you, Pops.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you back somewhere on Monday. I promise, at noon. Have a good one, everybody.